I was sent back to a podcast which is now a few months old in case you guys want to check it out. Mom's Basement by Keemstar and FaZe Banks. Had some great guests on a while back, that being Hex and Nadeshot. Last time I talked about this podcast, and I will be pulling a few more clips for videos out there because it is very informative, despite me bringing it up because Keemstar had some words for me in this same podcast. It was very informative about some figureheads and notorious names in the game and esports space, of which one is FaZe Banks, who went on to talk about why he is almost tired, almost sick of the esports and gaming scene of what he is being held up to, and might actually be thinking about soon catching the ultimate bag, as he claims, and selling his portion of ownership in FaZe Clan.
On top of that shit, it was just passionate. But we talked about it, and it's completely forgotten and forgiven. It's cool. Like, I fully understand. Like, I get it all. But that's another big reason why, like, and I've never spoken about this, and I don't know how people would react to hearing me say this, but, like, in so many ways, bro, I'm over it. Like, I really am over it. Like, I'm over the internet. I'm over, like, I never really, like, thought I would not enjoy how, like, corporate or how real this business could be. That was always the dream. That was always the goal. But now that we're here, it's like, I really do just miss kind of like making my own decisions at my own will and acting the way that I want to. And like, I really am so ready to just catch the ultimate bag and bounce and hire a team of kids.
Whoa. You're not quitting this podcast because we're doing this for like 5 years straight, just so you know.
No, I'll stick around for the podcast. This is fun for me, by the way. Yeah. Like, I love doing this. This is genuinely a passion thing. This is fun. I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't. But as far as like building a business and this and that, like,
it's stressful. It's stressful.
It's just like there's so much to it. Like it.
Well, dude, I could totally relate to that too because my life changed so much in the last 3 years. Like, I have so many. Back when I was just vlogging and in that year without an organization, it was just my business. I did whatever I want. I could do whatever I want whenever I wanted to. And now there's been so many benefits and positives to working with other people, and my schedule is dictated around the business. But there's days where I'm just like, oh man, I would really love to off and not deal with anybody or anything right now. But I think for you, a lot of the stress that you put yourself through and a lot of the responsibilities that you have now with FaZe Clan, ultimately, it seems stressful and seems tedious day to day. But when you look back on this 5 years from now, I think it'll all be worth it. Like, there's shit you have to do and people that you need to answer to and situations that aren't fun to deal with. But man, that the light at the end of the tunnel for you is when you talk about, you're going to catch that ultimate bag, and you're never going to have to deal with this if you don't want to ever again. Your time every single day is an investment for your future, and you're too talented and too charismatic to not be, the forward-facing front man for FaZe Clan. It's like, bro, you have a responsibility yourself and the responsibility to the last 10 years of work that you've put into this business. Definitely. To see it through
and it's not all bad.
Finish it and get it done.
It's like a big pile-on of just like social media in general, being under the microscope. Like, it's starting to become so old and like just tedious.
Yeah, bro, you'll get through
really
it. You'll get through it.
No, absolutely I will.
You got good people around you, man. You and Tommy, I feel like you, Tommy, and Tico and Apex and all these guys around. Tav seems like a really down-to-earth, really great dude. Like, you have these relationships, and you got to rely on those relationships to uplift you every single day.
I mean, that's what really genuinely makes it all worth it. Like, I live for the experience, and I live for relationships and the people around. Like, you mentioned loose change off the air, and like, I should have kept doing that, whatever. I personally just cannot do something just for myself.
Yeah. And I thought this was very interesting. In case you guys missed the podcast, go check it out. It's always awesome to see these kind of big figures actually talk about a variety of topics as well, and it does really make you curious, right? What are the ultimate goals? Ironically so, Hex in this same podcast, of course, had sold Optic. Now he actually has Optic back underneath his reins, but he did catch, as what we presume to be a bit of a bag and a brand that we never thought maybe he would part ways with in the first place. In this same podcast, Nadeshot also says, hey, I'm looking for the bag eventually too, with his partial ownership of 100 Thieves, but it does make you curious if FaZe Banks would ever truly leave gaming and esports. Would he ever leave FaZe Clan? Even if he sells his portion of ownership, doesn't mean he would leave FaZe Clan. And it kind of brings to light a question for all of you guys of, is esports and gaming better with a figure like Banks being attached to FaZe Clan? And I would say, quite frankly, yes. With his name in this, of course, when I think of FaZe Clan, I don't know what you guys think of when you think of FaZe Clan, but one of the few names that come to the top of my mind when I think FaZe I think of a polarizing character like Banks, for better or for worse, what he admits to, he's done a lot of stupid things, and he knows that. But it also brings a lot more eyes to an esports and gaming organization, and, you know, what Nadeshot calls, and many others would agree, the most valuable organization in all of gaming. He certainly brings a lot more eyes to it, and I do think the space, again, for better or for worse, is better with him in it, because he draws a lot more eyes to it and has a gigantic presence in the scene as well. I've not heard too many people out there talk about potentially selling out and leaving the scene, and I definitely did not expect someone like Banks to be the one to talk about it, because he seems to have some pretty thick skin when it comes time for dealing with being in all of these headlines, right? So I thought it was a very interesting talking point, guys. What do you think about that? FaZe Banks considering catching the ultimate bag and selling his portion of FaZe Clan. You know, I say, albeit, man, you've worked hard for so long, you deserve a bit of a cash out. I'm sure he's doing well financially already, but, you know, I would say his portion of FaZe Clan has to be worth a considerable amount, or so you would think. I don't know the background details, but it would be interesting to know if he did sell, what he could get for it, you know? Until next time, hope you guys all enjoy. Drink that walk, drink that ka. I'll catch you back here in the next one. Take care.